So today we will be discussing two very important question types in the NPT exam. One is reading fill in the blanks and the other one is reading and writing fill in the blanks. All right. So this is how a reading fill in the blank question type looks like. So you will have a text with blanks. Now you also have a lot of options below this text. You have to see which of these words will fit in the blank. All right. So usually the text, most of the texts are academic in nature, and you will have to start, scanning for the right word and then fit it in the blank provided. Okay. Often you will see, for example, let's say how many words you have here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you have 5 blanks, you will have about 7 to 8 options, which means the options are going to be tricky. All right. So this is also known as drag and drop fill in the blanks, where you will drag the correct option and drop it into the particular blank. This only contributes to your reading section. Is this clear to all of you? So this is how reading fill in the blank text test question type look like. Okay. So we'll discuss what exactly is tested in these question types. But is this clear to all of you? So you get a text with a lot of blanks. You have extra options as well. So you have to read the text, go through the text, fit in the correct words in the blank. And this is also known as drag and drop fill in the blanks, and it only contributes towards your reading section. You have another fill in the blanks question type, which is known as reading and writing fill in the blanks. So here also you will get a text with a lot of blanks, and for each of the blanks you will have about 4 options. This is also known as a drop down question type. So for each blank you will have 4 options and you have to choose the correct one. Since this is known as reading and writing fill in the blanks, it means that it also contributes to the writing section. So sometimes your grammar, your tenses are tested, your knowledge of collocations are tested. Okay, so your ability to use a transition word is tested sometimes. So that is why it contributes towards your reading and writing section. Is this clear to all of you? Both the question type, one is drag and drop, the other one is drop down question type. I would request all of you to actively participate. So if you are not participating, then there is no way in which we will be able to move forward with the session. All right. So you have to respond. If you don't respond, I won't be knowing whether you are able to understand it. So request all of you to actively participate. So initially, I guess, yeah, at least in the starting phase, we need that kind of engagement so that we clearly know that you understand this perfectly. Okay, so can we have a few more yeses? If it's not clear, then please feel free to say that as well. Okay, and also actively ask questions. Okay. All right, super. So what is tested in reading fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks? So any thoughts, any idea? Let me hear it from you. What is your idea about these question types? Vocabulary, grammar, yes. This task takes a lot of time. Right. So all of you are correct. So grammar, is tested, vocabulary is tested, tenses, collocations, yes, correct. And Shoaib, this task takes a lot of time, so that is also correct. And because this question type carries a lot of weightage, you have to invest a lot of your time in answering these questions, and it's very, very important. All right. Now, a lot of test takers ask, what is the easiest way to solve these problems? What is the shortcut? Unfortunately, there is no shortcut. All right. So that you have to understand that all these passages, all these texts that you get are academic in nature. That is first thing. And secondly, you have to read it actively. If you read it actively and if you know the meaning of, and most of the time, if you are an average user of English, then you will be able to answer 70-80% of the questions, 70-80% of the blanks quite easily. You won't find it hard at all. Now, if you fall below that category, then it means that you have to improve your reading ability. So for that, I will refer to you a website where you will be able to improve your reading skills. All right. So let's see in detail what exactly is being tested here. So basically, through these blanks, your ability to identify words that completes a reading text using the context, that is one thing. So it's very, very important that you understand the context of the text. If you understand the context, you will be able to answer a few blanks correctly. For example, can you look at this example and see and say what is the correct answer? So there is one blank, and then I have given 3 options here. So let's see how many of you will get this right. Okay, so I can see almost, many of you have answered it as challenging, and some of you have answered it as impressionable. Can we have few more answers? Okay, Ritu, challenging. All right, Supan. Okay. Now, so no one thinks that it's important. All right, maybe. So yeah, so challenging and impressionable is what most of you have mentioned. Now, if you look at the sentence construction, my chance encounter with Camus's book must have occurred during an especially challenging phase. Now, challenging perfectly fits in, right? Right, challenging phase, because more than anything else I had read, is what said with me. So challenging phase, if you just read this, challenging fits in well. But the problem is, the challenging is not the right answer. The right answer is impressionable. Now, why do you think it is impressionable? So those of you who have answered impressionable, Dijans, Ali, and Mazhar, could you please tell why do you think it's impressionable, not challenging? Because if you read the latter part of the sentence, you will see that because more than anything else I had read, his words stayed with me. Okay, his words stayed with me. It created an impression. That is why it's an impressionable phase. Understood? So it's very, very important that you read the sentence in its entirety, understand the context, and then fit the correct word into that blank. So this was not a very hard question, right? But it was a tricky question. And you get such questions in PT reading. All right. So by critically reading the statement, by completely reading the statement, and if you're able to understand the context, you'll be able to answer such questions. So this is why I was mentioning that even if you are an average user of English language, you will be able to answer 70-80% of the blanks. Okay, chances are very, very less that out of the, for example, let's say so each fill in the blanks question will have about 4 to 5 blanks, and you will have about 5 to 7 such questions. So a total of 30-35 blanks is what you will be attempting. So out of those 30-35 blanks, maybe at the max you may see 3 or 4 words that you may not have heard before. Okay. So when you say vocabulary, most of the words that you see in these fill in the blanks are something that you must have seen before. Okay, it's very, very rare that you, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's a very rare case that you will see a lot of words that you have not, heard before. All right. So context is important. Is this clear to all of you? Do you want to do one more example? So most of you got it wrong. Okay. So most of you mentioned that it is challenging. Only very few mentioned that it is impressionable. Okay. The next one, let's see how many of you will get this right. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so here also we can see all types of answers. Okay, so why do you think that is happening? Because it's tricky. Right now, could you please tell why do you think it's organized? Why do you think it's generous? And why do you think it's creative? If you're able to explain that also, that too properly, then you are more or less good. Okay, so Tejasvi feels that it is generous because though they don't have money, still they spend more. They have mentioned that they spent more? Tejasvi, so you have to read critically. Okay, so do you think anywhere they have mentioned they will spend more? Generous. Okay, so generous because of thoughtful gifts. Creative because of thoughtful gifts. Okay. Yeah. So Tejasvi, the sentence starts by saying that a recent study in the US has shown that while families may not have as much to spend, they are being dashed in the gift they bestow. Lavish celebrations and large lump sums seem to have gone by the wayside in favor of smaller, more thoughtful gifts. Okay. So that is an assumption that you have taken, right? So, I mean, that is where exactly they have laid a trap. So, because the sentence is constructed like while families may not have as much to spend, you assume that, okay, they are being more generous in the gift. Okay. But see, you have to go with the context. Yes. If you look at the latter, always, it's not that, you just focus on the first sentence and then just go with that. No, that is why context is important. What are we discussing? Context. right? So second sentence clearly says that lavish celebrations and large lump sums seem to have gone by the wayside in favor of smaller, more thoughtful gifts. So if I'm saying that okay, they are spending a lot of money, and then I'm making this statement, does not make sense. Which is why the correct answer here is creative. They are being more creative in the gifts they bestow. Why it is creative? Because of this latter sentence, because of the second sentence. Is this clear to all of you? So whoever mentioned it as generous, Anisha, Pradibha, Tejasvi. So is this clear? So I mean, so maybe if you are making a lot of mistakes in fill in the blanks, this is what you should think. Okay, this is what you should ask yourself. Or maybe I'm missing out on the context. That is why I'm sitting in, because all these words actually fits in, right? So why is it? So you have to argue, you have to reason why it is creative, why not generous. So after practicing all these fill in the blanks question, you have to come back and review it. While reviewing, you have to ask yourself these questions. Why did I make that mistake? Why do you think it's creative? Why not generous? Ask yourself, try to answer that question. If you are able to successfully do that, then, and if you're able to continue that process for about, let's say, 50, 60 blank questions, then you are, at a very good place. All right. So the first ability that is being tested is to understand the context, which is why reading critically matters a lot. And these are question types that, only contributes to your reading section. So that is why context is very, very important. Again, the second one is your ability to understand the grammatical cues. For example, what do you think will fit in here? This is a very simple one. Yeah, this is a very simple one, right? So inspired by this. So this is such questions you will see in drop down questions, that is reading and writing fill in the blanks. Okay. So this basically contributes towards your writing also. Okay. Let's see one more example. Yeah, I was thinking why everyone is answering it as involved. Right when I thought so, you gave me some good answers. You gave me some good answers, as in you gave me some different answer. Okay, so you have to stick to one answer, Mazhar. You can't go with two. All right. Concerned. Okay. Okay, so the right answer here is involved. for anyone involved in drawing up plans to market a product. Now, why is it not concerned? So you should, I mean, those of you answered that's concerned. So you should try to see why is it not concerned. Yes. So concerned in is not a usage. Okay. Concerned with, concerned about. So those are proper. So that leads us to a very important term, that is collocation. Okay. So we will have to discuss collocation also. So involved in is a collocation. It's a grammatical collocation. Concerned in is not, we don't say concerned in, we say concerned with or concerned about. Okay, that is why you have to look at these grammatical cues. So if it's in, then you should never choose concerned. Is this clear to all of you? And that is exactly what is tested. So it's not your ability of the context that is tested here. It's your ability to understand this part that is tested here. Is this clear? All right, super. So those of you mentioned it as concerned, visions. Yep. All right. The other thing is, the third thing that is being tested is the usage of collocations. Now, what do you mean by collocations? So collocations are idiomatic expressions comprised of a sequence of words, which for mostly arbitrary reason occur together in a prescribed order. For example, fast food. You often say fast food. You don't say quick food. You say fast food. You say widely read, not heavily read. Strong tea, not heavy tea. All right. So all these are collocations. So fast food, widely read, strong tea, and there are like many examples. Can you come up with few examples? Can you type in few examples that immediately comes to your mind? Media coverage, yes. Hard word, controversial issue, yes, 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 yes. So those, yeah. So those are collocations. Talk about, not talking about. Talk about, yes. Talk about is a collocation. Okay, so let's see, collocations in core area. Good. So basically, there are two types of collocation. One is lexical collocation, and the other one is grammatical. Okay, so lexical collocation is basically a combination of two or more content words such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. For example, read widely, widely read, fast food, core area. All these are pay attention. Yes, all these are lexical collocations. Okay. Now there are these are the examples. A few examples: make mistakes, heavy smoker, deeply concerned, whisper softly, and then there are grammatical collocations. So it's basically association of words with a certain preposition. So we just saw a grammatical collocation. What was that? We answered a question in the previous slide. Inspired by, involved in. Yes, yes, yes. So those are grammatical collocations. Okay. So interest in, insist on, happy with, independent of. So these are grammatical collocations. So what? So if you have to improve your collocation knowledge, there is like a huge list of collocations. Okay, you can't by heart all of this. So what you have to do is whenever you read an article or something, you have to consciously see, okay, scan for collocations maybe. So once you start doing that process for maybe 3, 4 articles, then it becomes a second nature. So that's something that you should start, practicing. So if you do that, you will really see the change. So, for example, this particular passage, the South African leader Nelson Mandela changed history, but he suffered a lot. Mandela was born to the son of a, so this is again a collocation, and he was also named after is a collocation. The son of is a collocation. He was the first in his family to attend school is a collocation. His teacher, in his life, he made a lot of trouble, but it was the trouble for people who did not do the right thing is a collocation. Mandela's father died when Nelson was very young, but he stayed in school. Okay, so now knowledge of these collocations, if you can include some of these collocations into your writing as well, it's really good. It improves the quality of your writing. For example, in essays, okay, so if you specifically, when you proofread, if you see that there is a scope of using the right collocation, please do so. That improves the quality of your writing a lot. Okay, he became a lawyer and started the first black law firm. Started firm. So it's not always that they are together. Okay, so always, remember that there can be, few words in between as well. So for example, this one, started firm, is a collocation. He fought apartheid, which kept black and white people separate. He went to prison. He believed in at the age of. Okay, so whenever you read an article or something, try to scan for these collocations. Okay, so now do you have a good understanding of lexical and fairly good understanding of lexical collocation and grammatical collocation? So if I show you a passage, will you be able to identify lexical and grammatical collocations? Yes, no? So if I show you a passage like this, a different passage, will you be able to identify collocations? So only 2 people will be able to identify collocations. 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the point to tell them apart? So that's a practice. So it's again, if some of you are not okay. So H2R, what is your name? I will request all of you to rename yours to the proper name so that we can have a proper discussion that way. If you are able to tell them apart, it means that your ability to identify a collocation and therefore even answering certain questions that test your collocation knowledge will improve. That is the whole point. Does that answer your question, H2R? All right. So again, identifying these are not a part of PT exam. Okay. So we have seen exact question type, but what I want you to understand here is, when you practice for these exams, when you practice for these reading fill in the blanks or reading and writing fill in the blanks, it's always better whenever you read an article, go into that mindset where you can where you scan for these collocations. Okay, it's just a practice that will help you later on in answering those fill in the blanks questions. Is that clear to all of you? Tejasvi? All right, super. So I am just going to show you one passage. It won't take more than 2 minutes. So you have to identify the collocations in it. All right. So let's see. Go ahead, continue, continue. Mm-hmm. Thus rendering. Okay. So 4 years, is this a collocation? Yes, 4 years is a collocation. Okay. So environmentally friendly is a collocation. So created. So some I see some of you have mentioned it as big problem. So rather than big problem, you have to see this as a created a problem. Okay, create problem. Create problem is a collocation. Okay, so it's not that always it has to be together. It can be like this also. That's created a big problem. So creating problem, that is a collocation. Create problem. Is this clear? So some of you have written this as big problem. So I just wanted to correct that. Is this clear? All right, super. At a rate of, that is a grammatical collocation. Put the brakes on, again a grammatical collocation. Develop a prototype, developing prototype, develop prototype. This is again, this is a lexical collocation. Designed bicycle. Yes, yes, that's correct. Connected to this seat is correct. Secured to is another collocation. Rendering it valueless is another collocation. No longer. No longer is a collocation. Experimenting with is a collocation. Applied for is a collocation. Yeah, working prototype. Working prototype is also a collocation. Working prototype. Working prototype. Okay, so again, we might have missed, some in between, but more or less this. So whenever you read an article, you will see collocations a lot. Okay, so if you just, whenever you read an article, just try to, specifically scan for these collocations. When you do that for at least, 3 4 articles, you will see a, change. Gas guzzling. Gas guzzling also is something that you can, treat as a collocation. Synthetic plastic could be a common technical one. Yeah, technical one. Yes. Synthetic plastic. Yeah. So this is, this was basically the idea. Whenever you go and read an article, so this is for all those people who find fill in the blank question really challenging. So if you have to improve, you have to start improving your vocabulary, your reading skill, and everything. All right. So that this is what you have to do whenever you sit and read an article. Okay, so I will also suggest you a website. So yeah, relatively easy. Yes, relatively easy is again a collocation. Yes, that's right. Okay, so there is a website. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen? Right. So there is a website that is newsela.com. It's a very powerful website. There are like a lot of articles that you will get. You can scan. You can filter by looking at your interest, and then you can go for an article. So the once you select an article, so for example, this particular article, if you look at it, there is something called, you will see a lexical level. Okay, so this is right now set at a very high level. Okay, let me just move this side. Okay, so right now it is set, the lexical level is set at a very high level. Okay, so you will see a lot of complex sentences and everything. So someone who is just, someone who is below average level or some, then you start with a lower lexical level, which means the sentences becomes very simple. Okay, so start reading such short sentences, understand it, and then once you have understood this clearly, then maybe go to a higher level and read the same article. So it's the same article, same content, but written in a different way. Okay, so you will see somewhat complex usage here. All right, so by doing that process for couple of exercise, you will be able to understand the writing. The mechanics of writing is something that you will learn, and you will also be able to identify a lot of you learn, you will also improve your reading skills by doing this process. So it's a very, very, very powerful technique. A lot of people have benefited. So this is from my personal experience that I'm saying. So this is something that you could really try. Okay, and you also have activities here. So once you completely read the passage, so based on your level, you can choose a level. So if you feel that you are already at a very good level, you can go for a higher level and then read the passage. That will help you to polish your already good writing skill or reading skill, and then you can come back and answer these quiz questions. There are like reading comprehension questions which you can answer. All right, so newsela.com. This is a pretty good website. All right, so you have to do the hard work. So there is no shortcut for reading. Fill in the blanks. To improve vocabulary, there is no shortcut. Okay, you have to read. You have to read a lot. Okay. Again, I wouldn't encourage mugging up words or anything, but then you really have to start reading. If you start reading, and even if you change the lexical level and read it in different levels, you will see the change. You will have to be patient initially. It's a very slow process, but once you start enjoying that process, you know, you will see the improvement. How do we get into the activities mode? So you have an activities section here, Lakshmi. Okay, so you will see that activities here, and then you just click on that. So recently they have changed, a lot of uh, the UI. So I'm not sure how it will appear for a user. So this is something that I've been using for quite some time. So all right. So is this clear to all of you? All right, super. Okay. So if this is clear to all of you, let's start. It will ask us to join a group. Don't know which group. Okay. So maybe what I will do is I will share a class code, so you can use that class code and join. So maybe that will give you that access. Would there be another session on RS2? I don't think so. We will have another session on RS. So we had a very lengthy session on RS the other day. Okay, so but yeah, I mean the recording is available, so you will be able to go through the recording. All right, so let's start practicing. Okay, so we'll start with few reading fill in the blanks questions, and then we will move on to reading and writing fill in the blanks. All right, so here we go. So you can answer all the blanks at once. So you can, maybe wait till you find all the answers and then answer all of it together. So answer, separate your answers with a comma. Yeah, so Pratibha, you have one more left. Okay, so I think we have enough responses. So let's discuss. So what's the answer for the first one? So I could see some of you have mentioned this as ferocious. Some of you and most of you, some of you have mentioned it as attacking. Um, Most of you have mentioned it as poisonous. All right. So why do you think it's poisonous? Yeah, ferocious, Ali. That's right. Ferocious generally terms with lion or tiger, not with jellyfish. Yeah, I agree. But you have a very, much more valid answer here because, if you look at the next sentence, it clearly talks about the venom. Yeah. So venom is what makes it poisonous. Okay. So is this clear to all of you? So it's poisonous. Okay. Because the next sentence is venom. Correct. Now, what about this particular blank? So I think most of you have answered it as attacking. Yeah, so I think we'll go with attacking. There isn't, and by attacking the hurt. Yeah, you don't have any other choice here. Okay. The box jellyfish thing is so. So I see a lot of you. So, so I can see a lot of you have answered it as fatal. Some of you read to answered it as painful. Okay. Tejasvi also answered it as painful. Ferocious. Some of you have answered it as ferocious. So I can see most of you have answered it as fatal, and some of you have answered it as painful. Okay, because the sentence has depth in it. Agree. Okay, but then this is where this is somewhat tricky. Okay, so fatal is not right answer. The right answer is painful. Okay, now first of all, it's sting. So you say painful sting. Okay, so he is stung by a bee. So it's a painful sting. Now, why it is not fatal? Because fatal itself is a strong word, and then you want a saw fatal. That is one thing, and it's the primary reason here is because it's talking about the sting, and it's a painful sting is what you usually say. This is a lot of I think almost out of 100, more than 80 people usually go with fatal. Okay, so it's not fatal here; it's painful. This is clear to all of you. Nice. Okay. And die of heart failure before help arrives. Survivors often go through considerable discomfort. So, how many of you have written this as considerable? Yeah. So I don't see. I mean, did you guys miss this word or what? Oh, okay. A lot of you have because okay. So a lot of you because you have mentioned this as fatal. You substituted painful here. So it's not painful here. It's considerable. Considerable discomfort is again a collocation. You would say. Yes, yes, yes. Correct. That's correct, isn't it? And carry significant. Uh, why can't it be ferocious? Which question are you asking? Which blank you are referring to, Tejasvi? Okay, so ferocious, you don't say ferocious discomfort first thing. I mean, ferocious usually means, aggressive, it's um, violent, cruel. So that's the, it has a, that kind of connotation attached to it, the word ferocious. So you don't say ferocious discomfort anyways. Ferocious, for example, someone pointed out that you could say ferocious tiger. Okay, cruel. So it's basically, cruel, violent, that sort of connotations. Okay. Weeks after and carry significant scarring. Yeah, I think most of you mentioned this correctly. Ritu, so why not fatal? Fatal as in fatal discomfort or fatal, so fatal here? Mm, again, same thing. So, fatal means something that causes death. Okay. So so this is where, you will have to improve the collocation usage. Okay. So, if you are having such kinds of doubts, you should definitely read at least, two, three articles, keeping in mind, finding out those collocations, and then, come back and then try to answer these questions. What do you mean by that, Vijay? So painful equals fatal? So again, this, was it a very hard question? How many? I mean, do you think, I mean, I'm sure that most of you have heard all the words, right? So it's not hard, right? None of these words are advanced vocabulary, anyways, right? Now, but many of you got it wrong. Many of you got it wrong, as in at least out of the five, some of you have mentioned that, two were incorrect, right? So, and again, as I mentioned, this is a question. This is a blank that a lot of people make, mistake here. So uh, if you are only making such mistakes that are like, very close enough, very tricky, then you have a very high chance of scoring 79 plus. If you are making more than, for example, if whoever has made more than three or more than three mistakes, then you definitely need to improve your vocabulary. Yes. All right. So let's look at the next question. All of you ready? Good. Super. Let's see. So here we go. Answer all of it together. All right. So you have four blanks. So separate your answer with a comma and then answer it. Okay, super. So I see a lot of you have answered all this correctly. So yeah, so the correct technology and flexible work practices. So work practices is a collocation have had significant impact on today's business companies in terms of productivity. It seems the focus has shifted. So shifting focus is again a collocation. So focus has shifted from managing employees in the workplace to monitoring their total output. Yes. Whether this trend will continue depends to some extent. To some extent is another collocation, lexical collocation. To some extent, to a great extent. Let's. So I think almost all of you got it correct. So is this clear to all of you? If if I think if most of you have got it right, it means that all right. So we'll get such questions also. Okay, very easy ones. Let's so let's look at the next question now. So here we go. So one important thing that you should do is after fitting in all the blanks, you should try reading it aloud. Okay. So if you try to read it aloud and if you feel any grammatical jump or any jump or of that sort, then you should critically think about your answer choices. Okay, so let's see. So the buildup of man-made plastics in the environment is, I see a lot of producing. So producing serious complication. That's correct. For marine wildlife and their habitats. Recent studies, again, estimating is something that I see a lot here. So estimating is correct. Recent studies estimating that over 8 million tons of plastic waste has ended up in our oceans, paint a bleak picture. They highlight that the pollution is not simply unsightly, but that it can be lethal to animals mistakenly feeding on it. intestinal blockage is one consequence of ingesting plastic. How many of you got all correct? So please count the number of mistakes. Let me know the number of mistakes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, good. So I think, yeah, so some of you have one incorrect. So is this clear to all of you? So those of you got few incorrect options. Did you guys really understand this? Okay, so ingesting is maybe one word that you may have, some of you, at least some of you may not have heard before, but all the other words are like very simple words. So ingesting basically refers to swallowing. All right, so are we good to go to the next question? If there is any confusion, please let me know. So since most of you got it right, so I'm going to the next question now. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I see a lot of you have responded. Okay, so we don't have an improvised answer. I see some of you have answered it as improvised. It's not improvised, it's impoverished. All right, so let's see. So Charlie Chaplin defined humor. So let me first, write down all the correct answers and then we will discuss. So Charlie Chaplin defined humor in the era of silent film circa the 1900s. He developed a kind of physical comedy that transcended parody or satire by playing an impoverished tramp caught up in situations of unrequited love and comic ineptitude. Audiences were mesmerized by this quaint and touching coming together of comedy and pathos. All right. So how many of you got? So what? Count the number of mistakes. So here the number of mistakes is going to be relatively higher. Anisha, all correct. Very good. Okay, Ritu only one wrong. Okay, that's decent. Four wrongs. Okay. So the reason why do you think there is a lot of mistake? I mean, a lot of you have ended up making a lot of mistakes here in this particular question is because the words that you see here are not conventional. These are like somewhat difficult words. Unrequited love means one-sided love. Okay, something that is not returned. Something that is love that is not reciprocated. So some of you, might be victims of unrequited love. Okay, so I mean, always whenever you learn a new word, try to put yourself in that situation and then try to remember it in some funny way or so. So okay, so that's one nice way to learn. Okay, so any doubts? So Charlie Chaplin defined humor in the era of silent film circa the 1900s. He developed a kind of physical comedy that transcended as in it took parody to a different level. Okay, so that transcended parody or satire and laid bare the tragic twists and turns of ordinary life in the modern age. Charlie Chaplin began his career by playing an impoverished tramp. Impoverished means poor. Okay, tramp means you can assume it to be a beggar. So impoverished tramp caught up in situations of unrequited love means unreturned love and comic ineptitude. Within a few years, however, the same guise was used to portray other more significant problems in society, ranging from oppressive conditions in factories to the alienation that immigrants faced. Audiences were mesmerized by this quaint and touching coming together of comedy and pathos. Okay, so some words definitely, you were not able to answer this properly because of the lack of understanding of some of these words. But yeah, I mean, always be prepared for such words also. Okay, such blanks also, such blanks questions also. Any doubts? Any question here? I'm sure some of you will have some question here. So if you don't have any question, then we will go to the next. All right. So we have shown you easy question type, somewhat difficult question type. So this is how it appears in the actual exam also. Okay, so you have to practice a lot. Okay, so practice from maybe a precise pool of questions where you can practice similar questions with tricky options. So this is something that you should always look for when you're practicing. All right, so let's look at the next question. So here we go. Okay, so instead of reading fill in the blanks, in the interest of time, what we will do is we will go to a reading and writing fill in the blanks question. And then if we have time, we will come back to those questions. So this is a reading and writing fill in the blanks question. So where you will have, for each option, there are 4 choices. So you have to choose the correct one. Okay, so this is a reading and writing fill in the blanks question. Okay, thank you, Shoaib. Thank you for finding this out. Okay, so I was talking all this while. So the first answer is second. Then you have use. Um, so I can see a lot of you have mentioned it as use. So if you could explain your rationale why you went with use, you can just post it there. They are the most common type of litter picked up of roads and beaches. The EU is currently making plans to ban all plastic straws, but in California, restaurant staff who put plastic straws in customers' customers' drinks. Okay, so this apostrophe after S is something that you have to keep in mind. The use of plastic straws is so prevalent globally that the oil company BP has announced that these bans could lower oil demand by around 2 million barrels per day. Okay, so let's discuss. So any question with regards to the first option? So I think almost all of you wrote this as second itself. I don't see any other. Yeah, so almost all of you went with second. Good, super. Now, yeah, so some of you, many of you went with use and used. Okay, so why is that? Yeah, we'll come to that, Dijant, and we'll come to that, Anita. So some of you have written this as used. So see, this is, but each of these unnecessary plastic tubes is discarded immediately after use and very rarely recycled. So if it was used, then you would have to completely reconstruct the sentence. Okay, so but each of these unnecessary plastic tubes is discarded immediately after it is used and it is very rarely recycled. Something like that you have to use. After use. Okay, so this is after use. So is it clear to all of you who made this mistake? Whoever mentioned it as used, is it clear too? All right, so picked up is something that I see a lot of you have mentioned correctly. Almost all of you have mentioned this as picked up. That's correct. Customers. Okay, now what is the difference between this apostrophe before and after? So whenever, okay, so this is customers drinks, right? Now whenever you have a word that, whenever you have a plural that ends with S, okay, whenever you have a plural that ends with S, plural possessive noun. So why do you call it a possessive noun? Because it's the customer's drinks that you're talking about. So whenever you have a plural that ends with S, then you always have to put S apostrophe. Okay, so for example, boys club, girls club, infants vision. So this is something I think we discussed during SST. Infants vision. So whenever you have a word plural possessive noun, whenever you are talking about a plural possessive noun, you always put an apostrophe after S. Singular also sounds correct. So what exactly you meant by that, Tejasvi? Yeah. So see, if I have to use a singular here, then I would use some article here. Okay, but in California, restaurant staff who put plastic straws in a customer's drink. Okay, so that is why it's not singular here. Who put plastic straws in customers' drink. So we are clearly talking about plural, many customers. Is it clear to all of you? So Anita, this is what you mentioned, fourth one. Okay, fine. Last one is demand, and Any questions with regards to this particular blank demand? Let me see. I think demand is what a lot of you have mentioned. Yes. Okay. So I think how many incorrect? Count the number of mistakes. Oh, good job, Stanley. Anisha, good job. Good. Good, good, good. Only 3 mistakes. So out of 5 blanks, if you're getting 3 mistakes, then that's not good. Okay. So is it clear, Dijans, why you, is it, do you really understood why it is not used in customers? Okay, fine. Acha, correct 3. Okay, so one page, good. 1 error. Okay. All right, super. So try to, throughout a reading section for fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks, try to, minimize errors as much as possible. Okay. So if the number of errors are within, let's say, 4 or 5, you are still, in a safe zone. Okay. So let's look at the next question. All right. So I think we have enough responses here. So let's see. The first one is but fastest, which is injected that cause damage to mortality rate of this person. All right, so let's see. So I think almost all of you got the first one correct, but any question here? I think all of you got it, but so no questions. Fastest. Any doubt with regards to fastest? Yeah, we will go step by step. Let me see Dijan, Stanley. So let's see. Fastest, I think almost all of you got. Yeah, fastest also, I think almost all of you got it right. Okay, so now this is a standard common mistake. Okay, which versus that. Okay, now there is a very simple rule that you can keep in mind to differentiate between which versus that. So the venom of a black mamba, which is injected through two hollow teeth or fangs at the front of the mouth, contains fast-acting toxins that cause. Okay, so now, so can you see a pause after this? The venom of a black mamba, and then there is a comma, right? So venom of a black mamba, which is injected through two hollow teeth or fangs at the front of the mouth, contains fast-acting toxins. So whenever you see a pause, and right after that, it makes sense to go with. If you have a choice between which versus that, then you should go with which. Okay, that's a very simple way of answering it. Okay, now why not when? Oh, when the venom of a black mamba when is injected. So you have a is here, right? So you won't say when is injected. Okay, if there was no is, then we could have argued about that as well. Okay, so let me just give you an example here. For example, let's say okay, let me just write down a sentence here. Okay, Arun's house, which has 2 bedrooms, is located in Mumbai. All right, and then you have Arun's house that has 2 bedrooms is located in Mumbai. Are these two sentences same? What's the difference? Okay, one is without comma. Oh, okay. So what is the difference between these two sentences? I still don't see a valid answer here. Yeah, Shoaib. Yeah, second one specifies that the one which has 2 bedrooms is located in Mumbai. Yes, so it could mean that Arun may have more houses. So Arun's house that has 2 bedrooms is located in Mumbai. Understood. So there is a subtle difference between these two. So the easiest way to observe is if you have a post, okay, Arun's house, which has two bedrooms, is located in Mumbai. So you are specifically pointing to the house that has, two bedrooms. Is this clear to all of you? So second one specifically points out to the house that has two bedrooms. The first one, there isn't any, a specific, uh, you know, there isn't any specificity with regards to the bedrooms that way. So you will see such, the testing of which versus that quite often. All right. So something that you could, maybe practice a bit more, or maybe you can even, practice it in our website. So this is something that is, or one, now that you have understood, I am, assuming that you may not repeat the mistake again. When that is used, there is no comma. Yes, yes. Dijans, okay, example, Dijans, you will be able to see a few more examples in our website, so you can actually practice using going to the platform. Okay, so yeah, we have already, spent extra 10 minutes now. So are you guys ready for one more question, or are you guys tired? So if we'll go for one more question, yes, that's it. Okay, so we'll go for one more question and then wind up. Okay, so I think we have enough responses here. All right, so let's see. Last one, prevent. What is that? So last one, prevent. Oh, all right, all right. Fine. Yeah, I mean, whatever we have in these brackets, okay, these curly braces, only consider those, okay. So maybe this was unnecessarily, highlighted in bold letters. So yeah, so let's see. So what's the answer for the first one? 60% in order to meet. In order to meet is the right one. Okay. Greater role for people to continue eating species sitting near the top of food chain. World's fish stocks are already severely threatened by pollution. Although people have been eating seaweed for centuries. All right, so all correct. Oh, Dijan's very good. So let's see, how many of you got all correct, or just type the number of mistakes that you've got. Oh, okay, this one. So it means that this one was simple. So there are few errors as well. Okay, two errors. So understand that you will get about 6 to 7 such questions. Okay, 5 to 7 such questions. So even if you are making one mistake in one question, then it means that you will have end up with about 5 to 7 mistakes. Okay, so be extremely careful. So actually makes a lot of difference, because fill in the blanks is that question type that carries a lot of weightage. All right. So anything to discuss here? So let me see which one you got. I've been eating. Yeah, so severely threatened. I can see some mistakes. Some of you have mentioned as badly threatened. So severely threatened is a collocation. Okay, all clear. All right. So if you have no questions, then good. So practice a lot, okay? Because reading fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks can be extremely tricky. So practice a lot. Whatever words that you see that you have not heard before, note it down and understand the meaning of it. Okay. When you review your mistake, also ask yourself what kind of mistakes you're making. That's the only way to improve your reading fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks. So we have a lot of exams specifically targeting these question types in our portal. So you can have a look at those also. So we have a survey. It's contain all the we don't have all the module related questions, Divya. So we are taking it in the middle of the session. So if you have already so we have conducted 5 sessions so far. So 7 sessions. This is the 7th session. So we usually send out a survey in the middle of the the entire batch, so that if there is any course correction that we have to do, then we will be happy to do so. So we request all of you, whoever has not completed the survey, so because that will actually help us deliver better. So request all of you to you know complete the survey. Okay, so Shoaib, how much time should we target for this section, as I spend a lot of time on this section? Understand that out of the all question types that you have in the entire reading section, reading fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks carries a lot of weightage. So you should be investing a significant amount of time in these question types. So out of the, let's say, you get about 35 minutes, let's say, for reading section, and you should be spending close to 20-25 minutes to answer, and 25, at least 25 minutes to answer these fill in the blanks questions. That is both reading and writing fill in the blanks combined. Is this clear? All right, super. All right, guys. So I would request all of you to leave a feedback. Like go. It's an anonymous survey, all right. So we won't get to know who posted what. So try to give an honest feedback there. All right. All right, guys. So see you tomorrow. Stay safe.